I came straight from the military and went straight into the streets hustling like I never went to the military. People didn't. They thought I was in Houston somewhere. I had been in the military.
What's going on, y'all? It's your favorite podcast. Your boys from Built by the Red Stick are back in the studio.
It's Fountaine.
Yes, Lord. It's Ronnie LeDuff, the other guy on the podcast.
The other guy. That was crazy work, man. She said, "Oh, you the other one."
we was at the conference. So good. I love your podcast. And he was like, "Yeah, he'll do it with me." She's like, "Oh, you are the other guy."
Like Michael, yes, I'm Michael.
Right. Listen, y'all know what to do, man. Make sure you smash the like button, share to any platform you want to. Subscribe.
OnlyFans, OnlyPods. You're right.
Subscribe.
Yes, Lord.
Follow us on Facebook.
Yep.
Follow us on TikTok.
Yep.
Follow us on Instagram.
Yep.
And most importantly, most importantly, subscribe
on YouTube.
On YouTube.
We are 8 subscribers away from 3,000.
I think we're like 5 now.
5 subscribers away from. By the time this come out, we'll be there.
3,000.
We're on the road to 5K.
We're on the road to 5K.
On the road to 5K, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, indeed. Also, you know we have our Patreon.
Yes, Lord.
Right.
We got 2 new members.
We got 2 new members.
What they look like? You know, I heard you doing pretty good.
They look like me. They look like if they had a baby, I'm what they would.
You would be what they had.
You know? Well, I don't know, because I'm the only one in the family with red hair.
Uh-oh.
Shout out to our top tier Patreon members. We got both Elizabeths.
Both Elizabeth.
Both of them. We got Blaine.
We got Blaine.
Blaine, we got your shirt and your hat here waiting for you.
Waiting for you. Are we meeting Blaine?
Yeah.
Blaine, how about you come to the studio and pick it up so you can meet us and get a look at what we doing here?
We love it.
Would you love to do that, Blaine?
We got Katie G.
Katie G.
We got Caitlin.
You
know what Caitlin that is? I saw the names.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
Caitlin M.
You serious?
I'm dead serious.
Caitlin M. You talking about Brock's Caitlin?
Brock's Caitlin.
I am so sorry. We never knew the last name. Caitlin.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
And then our 2 new paid members for our top tier.
Mama O.
We got Mama O.
And Marco. So look, Caitlin and Brock have a consulting service, right?
I thought it was a staffing service.
That's it. That's consulting, right? That's the same thing?
No, because they take people in and staff them. It's like a staffing agency.
But don't you consult with some people and say, hey, you can use these services?
I guess, bro. It's a staffing agency. Staffing agency.
So shout out staffing service. They putting people to work. If y'all need more information about that, contact us and we'll get that to y'all.
Absolutely.
Shout out them, bro.
But listen, we got a banger in the studio. We're gonna take a quick word from our sponsor and we will be right back. Every journey is different. For some, recovery means healing after a life-changing illness or injury. For others, it's overcoming depression, anxiety, trauma, addiction, or simply finding hope during life's hardest moments. At Intensive Specialty Hospital and Intensive Behavioral Health, they believe every person deserves to be treated with dignity, respect, compassion, and individualized care. Their multidisciplinary team of physicians, nurses, therapists, counselors, and specialists work together to treat the whole person, not just the diagnosis, helping patients heal physically, mentally, and most importantly, emotionally, while restoring independence, confidence, and quality of life. Like the stories you hear on this podcast, they understand that recovery isn't just about what you've been through, but it's about where you're going. Through expert medical care, behavioral health services, addiction recovery programs, rehabilitation, and ongoing support, they are committed, like us, to walking alongside every patient and every family with hope, encouragement, and excellence. Listen, you got commercial insurance, they can take you. You got a marketplace insurance, they can take you. State-funded Medicaid, they can take you. And Medicare, most importantly, they can take. If you or someone you love could benefit from specialized medical rehabilitation or behavioral health service, visit Intensive Specialty Hospital or Intensive Behavioral Health online to learn more. If you give them a call, tell them you heard it from your boys at Built by the Red Stick. We love y'all. And just like that, we're back.
We're back. I was running. That was me running.
y'all don't know this because we don't miss a beat.
Yes, Lord.
We don't miss a beat.
Well,
We steady.
Stepping.
We have dropped an episode
Steady steppers.
on Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for almost 2 years consecutively. We're right there. We are right there at 2 years. The first week of August, which we got a cool new Meet Your Sponsor series coming out on August.
That's gonna be a banger. Should be a banger.
Will be 2 years. But the reason why I say all that, y'all didn't notice it, but I did. My dog just got back from vacation.
I did.
He was on a boat.
Here you
bitch.
go. I'm on a boat. Everybody look at me because I'm selling on a boat.
Yes, Lord. How was your trip, bro?
It was.
This ain't about you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got the best hype man to the Mississippi, straight off the boat. The one, the only, Ronnie LeDuff.
My mouth was open about to say something. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we got the flyest motherfucker in recovery in the building.
Bring him on.
And look, I know y'all know how I feel about myself.
He make me jealous.
I know. I can confidently say this is the flyest motherfucker in the building, right? I got a cool story about this cat. He don't even know it. He probably know it, but I'm finna tell it. When I first got into marketing, not into marketing, but that side of it, right? That professional side of it, like the mental health stuff. I'm being all uptight, like, how you doing? I'm Ronnie LeDuff, nice to meet you, right? Got the dreads. I'm trying to blend in. Right. Man, I see this dude come in here with a half grill, J's on his feet, braids in his head, chains. I say, oh, yeah, what's him, my nigga?
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Did he even know it? Just instantly made me feel comfortable, and that's what this dude exudes day in and day out, right? He's a husband. He's a father. He's a man in recovery. He's an employee. He's a son. He's an uncle. And God damn it, he's great at all of them. I am so blessed and honored that I get to share this space today with him, as well as the fight and the journey of recovery, saving people just like ourselves. I am very honored and grateful to now call him a friend and a brother. We have to y'all Jarvis. It don't mean a thing if it ain't Fountaine in the build by the Racing building.
Appreciate you, man.
What's him?
What's up with it?
Gave me chills, bro.
Yes,
Right.
Lord.
Me too. I ain't never been introduced like that before.
I tell everybody they need a Ronnie in their life.
Real.
Welcome to the studio. Last second, he stepped in for us.
Stepped in, bro. He was ready.
Some of y'all who watch this probably do know this. Some of y'all who watch this probably don't know this. Me and Jarvis, hold on, we didn't all. Me and Jarvis did because Ronnie took a vacation. We just came off of our state's LASAC conference. Yeah. It's one of the biggest ones in the state. Everybody shows up, man. So he was already down here, and he's like, he made a comment on one of Ronnie's posts asking about some shoes. And I was like, he can't get them until he come on the pod.
And Mike cleared it. Boss man, right? Boss man cleared the episode, and here we are, baby.
Yeah. So before we start, man, tell the people who you are, what you do in our in the community, and where you from.
All right, my name is Jarvis Fountaine. I'm from Alexandria, Louisiana.
3-1 great in the building.
318.
Alexandria, people in the building. Big T's. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, Lord.
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Oh, yeah,
Whitehead.
Rebecca, she real.
Rebecca, yeah, she follow and love this platform.
Yes,
sure.
Indeed.
Yep. And some other people too, Dominique Teasley, Jess Michelle. I work with a bunch of good people in my community. But what I do, I'm the resource coordinator at a local nonprofit in Alexandria called Class Healthy Living for All. And basically, it's an agency that has a bunch of different resources. The program that I'm on with is called Fresh Works. It's a harm reduction and overdose prevention program.
He fresh all the time.
Right, right. Look, and what I do basically is just keep people with supplies, with overdose and harm reduction supplies, Narcan, test strips. Make sure they have sterile syringes and supplies. And a lot of times people are like, hold on, man,
You're enabling.
Why you doing it?
Yeah.
And the thing is, we reducing Hep C, HIV. We making sure people stay alive and healthy. The goal is to reduce or eliminate harm. That's it.
Absolutely.
And then when they ready to go to recovery, when they ready to get to treatment or anything like that, we right there.
you're creating a non-judgmental face that they know who they can call.
Yes.
Because they were like, man, this dude was here, or this group of people were here for me
Yes.
when I was at my lowest. Now that I'm wanting to do something,
Yep.
I have a friendly face.
So we normally do this at the end. I want to try something.
Yeah, go for
Let's
it.
do it at the beginning. How can they reach out to y'all if somebody
I love
is
it.
looking for
I
them
love
services?
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so what they can do is we located at 1785 Jackson Street in Alexandria, Louisiana.
Okay.
Our number is 318-442-1010. And you can and we open from Monday to Friday from 8 to 4:30 p.m.
Okay.
You can pull up, you can call, whatever the case may be, and just walk up.
And maybe not your department of that whole nonprofit, but is there a department that also does maybe like 24/7 outreach or anything for like maybe on the weekends?
So what they do, a lot of our people, they have direct access to me, my phone. They got direct access to our other person, Danny. She's the peer support specialist.
Okay.
And then my wellness director, who's over the program, Alex Stallings. They always have access to us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we on a personal. We build a personal relationship with them. It ain't no like professional relationship.
So if they call that number, will it direct?
Yeah, they go direct them
It'll
straight
go
to us.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. All right,
Yes.
y'all got
Yes.
it
Yes,
going.
sir.
That's
Yes, sir.
Alexandria.
Alexandria, but also at class, it got other programs like prevention where we offer free testing for HIV, Hep C, and syphilis and other STIs, and you can get your results in 15 minutes. You don't need no. Watch this. You don't need no insurance. You don't need no money. It's free.
Just come on in.
A lot of stuff is if it do come back positive, we treat you as well.
And y'all,
Oh, that's love.
Yep. We also have Balance. That's a self-help group. And then around our area, like Sober Living and all Oxford, they accept our meetings like AA, NA. And basically, Dominique, one of the facilitators, I'm a facilitator as well. And basically, we focus on thoughts, feelings, and emotions. That's it. All that stuff you can't see. Right, we want to talk about that and make sure people comfortable talking about that type of stuff and
Is
figure
it a
out.
co-ed group or do y'all have gender specific?
No gender specific, everybody. And then it don't have to be about substance abuse or anything. It can be about, just life. Porn.
Yep.
Yeah, it can be about food, shopping, anything.
There you go.
Yep.
You laughing, man?
No,
I'm not.
no. Look, we done had some
I know
people.
it is. I
Yeah.
know it's serious. It's just he come out of left field.
Right,
And it's,
right.
I'm not
Look,
ready for it. And then he says it.
Hey, we done had some participants with the same thing going on, and they like, hey, we just trying to go in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Is it which direction we going in? We going away from what we care about or towards what we
And
care
look, also, I mean, another big growing thing that Baton Rouge is, I think, hot spot for. I don't know as much about Alexandria, but Shreveport, Lake Charles area, the gambling.
Yes.
The gambling.
Yes.
I mean, it's
that's everywhere. Yeah.
Just
it's
see
everywhere.
what's that. They said that people are not spending money on like shopping and food and other stuff. All their money going to gambling. Gambling has seen $177 billion increase.
$1 billion.
So you mentioned LASIK in the conference. So I'm telling you what, maybe
I brought it up about their
50 or 60% of the stuff was about gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, that is crazy.
And I brought it up a couple months ago because I was super impressed with it. I don't know if I brought it up here. I know I talked to you about it, but they're implementing like how they have the LASAC class that people can take for their CIT and substance
yes.
abuse. They're introducing the gambling counselor,
That's
peer
good.
support type position class as well for LASAC, which
Hey,
is
that's
super
big.
cool, man.
That's big.
Is FanDuel considered gambling?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And look, they spoke about a FanDuel, all those platforms, and like our teenagers, our youth, they got access to
easy
it,
access.
You know?
Easy
They don't have to
access.
go to the casino.
Yeah,
Be
I'm
on
not the
phone.
type that got my kids' account and then they use me. I don't do that because that's crazy.
Yeah.
Right. But if they hit, you get a percentage of it.
All of it.
Right.
Get all of it. We going on the $10,000.
Right.
I mean, all of it.
All right, man. Well, let's dive into it. So, originally from Alec,
Yeah, originally.
Okay, so-
Alexandria, yep.
what was life like growing up for you, man?
Growing up, man. Yeah.
Oh, it's your story. My bad.
Hey, look, it's cool. Look, so my parents had me when they was young in high school. So my grandparents raised me pretty much, So growing up for me, man, I just was spoiled. It's spoiled. where I'm at today in life, I can kind of look back and realize, like, okay, why I thought like I thought, but really I can look back and say I was loved, taken care of, and spoiled, man. But when I was little, I used to always feel like, I guess abandonment type issues. I always thought that why my parents didn't keep me at a younger age. But really, I know now as I'm older that they just was doing whatever necessary to make sure I was safe, taken care of, while they went through school, college, and did whatever they needed to do to build that foundation. But I had a bunch of internal stuff going on. And then I grew up in a type of household that's like whatever goes on in this house stays in this house. So I wasn't really able to communicate exactly what was going on with me or get answers to questions that I used to always have. So school was my like safe space. I always tell people I went to school so I could eat, talk to girls and socialize with my homeboys. That's it. Yeah, but then, before school and after school, I had to go back to this certain environment where I had all this stuff going on internally, and that's just how it was for me. And with that, I believe is why I like turned to the streets like almost immediately, and I glorified people that was in my family, like my uncles who was selling drugs. I glorified people in my neighborhood, and I always tell people I always wanted to feel like I was a part of, understood. I didn't want to be judged. I wanted attention, and if I wasn't getting it in the house, I used to go get that outside in the community.
Find it somewhere.
Yeah, I'm gonna get it in an unhealthy way.
If I'm not being built up constructively, I sure don't mind building. If I'm not getting attention constructively, I sure don't mind getting it destructively.
Yeah. You indigenous?
Indigenous.
Yeah, like you Native American?
So my grandmother was full-blooded. My great-grandmother was full-blooded.
Okay. All right, that's why you look like that. Yeah. I always wanted to ask that. I'll save it for the platform.
Look, I was at LASIK. Somebody said, how are you texture your hair like that?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. It's like that.
They were white, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, white people. I know it.
She was about to touch it. I was like, hold on, what's going on here?
Hold on, you're not gonna say white people. That's like 35, 40, and older white women.
You're
that
right.
do that.
You're right.
I've seen them.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
get your hair. Can I touch it?
Right.
Yeah, and I was
What are
like,
y'all doing?
right. They be,
What y'all doing?
A science project.
yeah, they was comfortable. I was like, man, let me move around.
So when do you think that first moment, like what age, and then what was it where you like started to like seek that ease and comfort of being in the streets or hustling or whatever it was that you found that gave you that sense of belonging?
I think just at a very young age, man. I remember using as far as like smoking weed, like stealing, taking weed like from my father's stash spot. I remember going to like my uncles or going to some friends of my father who was older, getting some of their stuff and using at a younger age. And I started realizing like I'm using stuff outside of myself to make me feel better. Or I was trying to like escape or numb what was going on inside of me, and that was like at a young age, probably between 10 and 12 years old.
Dang.
10 and 12 years old. By the time I got in junior high, full-blown smoking marijuana, taking pills, selling drugs, like this in junior high. So
Like Xanax, opiates, or
I take a little football. It had footballs back then.
Yes, Lord.
But I call them dum-dum pills. Like once I started taking them, I kind of have amnesia.
Yeah.
So I used to stay away from them if I could. But like Laura says, 503s.
They don't even make them no more. You showing your age now.
Yeah, Laura says 540s, 502s, all those things. UADs, all that type of stuff. Drinking wasn't really on my list of things to do, but
Native Americans can't drink anyway, so it's probably.
and I know that
They
because
drink better than most people.
so
They like allergic to it for real.
all my family, anybody that know me, been around me, I done tried to drink. I never finished nothing, no beer, no nothing,
Right.
and then I throw up every time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Immediately.
They might do it, but it has a worse effect.
It might, but alcoholism runs rampant
In the
Native
in
American.
native, yeah, they got
Like,
treatment centers
yeah,
just for
just for-
yeah,
So like,
yeah.
so as we're going through, did you? I mean, you're a big dude. Was there ever like exit and like finding peace in sports or just the street life?
Man, honestly, man, I just got my weight up in these last probably 8 years. I always was a smaller, slim dude. I've been athletic. I always did workouts, stuff like that. But I always been smaller, man. But I played basketball. I played baseball. I ran track before, but I get distracted real easy.
Absolutely.
Never go to practice, stuff like that.
And we're going to, I guess, foreshadow a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm always intrigued with this aspect of it from somebody who lived that life, right? And so now being so involved in the community, you probably run into a lot of younger dudes and stuff. And so how do you, because, so many times, like I remember being in school and they'd always have like the little guy come in who would talk about how, they kind of used the scare tactic aspect of it back when we were growing up about this was my life, this is how and now I'm not like, so like, what is your kind of like go-to when talking to the younger generation about not idolizing the street life, not seeing their uncles or their, community hustlers, and how, like, where do you try to combat that?
Man, I always, and it's only because of my experience with coming into recovery this last time. Absolutely. And the people that I connected with, I always just allow them to be themselves, and I always listen to them. Because what I'm doing, I'm trying, like how we drop jewels sometimes, they dropping jewels too. So they let me know what they care about, what they value, what's intrigued, what they curious about. And I'm going to hear all that fantasizing and that street stuff. That's just come with the game. But then I'm all that stuff they tell me, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to figure out, okay, how can we go this route instead of this route? It could be like if kids are hustling. We got a lot of kids that's selling drugs right now at a certain age between 12 all the way up to 17. I'm like, okay, you're a hustler. Do you like fashion? All right, maybe we can go get some hats. Spend $200 on some hats, $5 a piece, cost $2 to get your little emblem. We can start selling them for $20 or $25. Now we finna talk about a legit hustle, one without consequences. So I'm always just looking for them jewels that they gonna drop. If you just sit back and try not to control that conversation, because once you start talking about back in my day or how I was raised, you lost them immediately. 100%. You done lost them, and they gonna become resistant. So I just let them be themselves.
That's genius. I love that.
Yep.
Okay, so we're entering in junior high, selling, using. What's the next sort of a progression of your life?
Just more using. Really stayed away. Well, I smoked weed a lot, but it started being just more opiates. That's the drink area, sipping syrup era, taking pills era. So I always sip syrup, pop pills, and that's when I started realizing detox, withdrawal, stomach aches, And then where I'm from, they don't really talk about addiction or mental health or nothing like that. So it wasn't nobody who told me that what's making you hurt, or you might need to watch what you're doing, or it's go get progressive. Nobody ever had those conversations, or you might need treatment, or you might need to seek help or stuff like that. Everybody was just like, you probably just need to go buy some more. You might want to keep you a cup, or you might want to keep you some on deck because when you wake up, you gonna need some more. So it was just, and this was my lifestyle. So going to school, while at school, after school, just continue using, which also fueled the hustling, that part of the lifestyle also, So, but school was good. I always been smart. I always was able to get by. And then I always had a certain type of personality to where teachers I just been blessed my entire life. Teachers always looked out for me. I would come to school smelling like a pound of weed, loaded, and my teacher say, "Boy, put your head down. Just go to sleep." And I always made it through. I almost didn't graduate, and she was like, "You can come back after you graduate," but my principal was like, "We have to get him out of school." People always work, for me and saw more in me than I saw in myself.
That's a blessing.
Yeah, my disciplinarian called my mom when I went into school smelling like a pound.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but I always had people around me that kind of just always looked out, and I think that hurt me too. That hurt me too though. But as I look back, I always had somebody there looking out, saving me, coming through. Instead of me getting in trouble or kicked out of school, they're like, "Hey, go sit down somewhere, put your head down."
And I think it's just to kind of touch on that aspect. I think it's because even we in our industry do that sometimes, but I think it's such a balance act of letting the person we're working with experience and consequences, but also, especially when they're young, not ruin their life, right? And it's a huge
cushion the blow
like
a
it's
little
a
bit.
huge balance because like you don't want to enable them and not have them experience any consequences, but you also know like, especially teachers, man, you also know like, man, if I give up on this kid,
Yep.
ain't nobody gonna be there
Yep.
for him.
That's real.
And so
You had a kid in junior high?
No, man, that's young. It's just
I'm saying you got an old kid.
Look.
How old are you?
But I'm 44. I'm about to be 45.
God damn.
Yeah. So my oldest son, he 22. He about to be 23 next month. I had Junior when I was 20, I guess.
I
20.
didn't know you was that old. So I'm thinking you had the kid like 8th grade, 9th grade. Man said 45. Well, yo, Barack Obama. Wait, no, that's Donald Trump. Who
Not
45? Which one? Who president 45?
I don't know, man. I don't keep up with the politics.
I don't know.
45?
No, I honestly think
Biden?
Trump was 44 and Biden was 45.
Okay. Oh, yo, Joe Biden.
I think. I don't know. I don't know that for sure. I don't pay attention. I don't care.
Man, you 45?
I'm about to be.
This will probably piss a lot of people off, but I'm one of those people that can vote and normally don't vote.
Come on, shout out. And Jarvis 2 days clean from crack today.
Hey, they crazy, man. Hey, not they. Dominique. Hey, he keep getting me every conference. This one cracked. The other one, I'm sleep in the.
Oh boy, that was funny.
It's building up though. When I get him, everybody gonna be like, he deserves it.
Yep, that's what I feel bad for. Oh boy, I seen that. But I needed that last.
Yeah.
So, what you've described, and like looking back on it now, it probably wasn't the best, but at that time, the mindset was probably I'm maintaining.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if it was I was maintaining. It's just this is just what it is.
Life.
Yeah, this is what it is. This is a part of my life.
When do you feel like it took that turn to where, it was dominating you?
Probably later on in life.
Okay.
It probably came later because, again, barely making it out of high school. I ended up going into the military because I had to go into the military.
I know about that.
It had some stuff going on, some legal stuff going on to where I had to go I made the choice to go into the military, but that didn't last long. Again, because when I get in the military, I'm still the same person from out of Alexandria that was born and raised in the senior quarters and on the north side. So I did complete basic training, but once I got stationed in Atlanta, Georgia, I had family out there, had friends out there. I was in the streets. I was enjoying, but I didn't realize like you gotta go to work. And if you don't, it's AWOL.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, you got drug screens, stuff like that.
It's not just as simple as not showing up.
Exactly.
Show up at a job, they fire you.
Yeah.
You don't show up for the Army, they arrest you.
Hey, and I didn't show up.
Yeah.
And one time I was like, look, I'm just for the go ahead go. They tried to discipline me. And I remember when I was in the military, I had my partner named Pegues. He was my roommate. He from St. Louis, Missouri. Also from Mississippi. I had another homeboy named Marlon Clemens. If I ain't mistaken, he was from Virginia. And I'm getting disciplined, right? They telling me all this stuff because I didn't show up for work or I didn't do something. And I called him, I say, man, just put all my stuff in my car right now. Yep. If I make it out this meeting with the staff, with my sergeant and the command sergeant major, like I'm shooting out. And that's what I did. I shot out, was AWOL for 4 months.
Dang.
Yeah. And like 2 or 3 weeks into that AWOL, I'm sitting at my old lady house, who is my wife right now. I'm sitting at her house and we looking at TV and the screen go blank. And it come on. That's whenever 9/11 happened. I say, well, shit, I know I ain't going back now. I stayed AWOL another 3-4 months, So, got blessed with that situation.
Yeah, that's what I was about to.
I was literally say, like, dang.
Oh, look, I had a bunch of stories for the military, but with that situation, I finally was able to turn myself in because I was cool with my first lieutenant, who was from Gamble, Louisiana, on 10, and he was like, man, turn yourself in. I'll walk you in. So I ended up turning myself in. They put me in the brig. He talked for me. They say, hey, he confined to his dorm. He can't leave the base. Yep, I left the base every day. I leave every day with my partners, and I come back in, duck down on the floor, every day. And they end up coming to me like, man, you was a good soldier. You can either get your rank reduced from an E3 to an E2, or you can go ahead and get out and we'll give you a general discharge under honorable conditions.
That's major.
No, that was like a blessing.
Yeah.
No, that was a blessing. So it's like, just like in school, the same thing.
Do you feel like all of those things happen and like kind of shielding you from the major consequences that you could have experienced?
Oh yeah,
and fueled your behavior even more?
Always. But also, if I had the right mindset, those situations would have made me wake up and say, you need to start doing the right thing. Yeah, I could have used it for either direction.
Did you have to do anything in the Army that caused PTSD or any trauma where you use drugs to like suppress that, like coming out? Like overseas or,
No. The main thing with the Army was I always just felt like I couldn't complete nothing. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't successful. Everything that I'm trying to do, I'm failing at it. I think they fueled that part of me. I got injured, which is how I ended up getting connected in my later years while I was in the military. I got injured, but that made my drug use, so it went from pills and straight to heroin.
Yeah.
Heroin and more drink, And at that time, wasn't too many people using heroin in my area. They was just using drink, Roxys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I had a bunch of old school partners and my grandfather who grew up, using heroin. I was using it at a younger age than most people.
Yeah.
And kind of like keeping it, in the dark. When I get with my partners, we go sip drink, we go pop pills, we go whatever. I snorted a little cocaine, speedball too, but the heroin, but the heroin, phase, that was like.
Was you an IV user or you snorted?
Snorted.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried one time. I was at my grandfather's house. He been using heroin. Well, he gone now, but at the time, been using heroin for 40 years.
Dang.
So.
Bro, I tell you what, them old head heroin addicts.
Yeah, like
he used for a long time.
Like he was a real OG gangster. He taught me a lot of stuff, good stuff too, like how to be a man and all that stuff. But I was like, man, I want to try the IV. He was like, I ain't teaching that, grandson. You got to try that yourself. Like he knew what I was doing. Yeah. He's like, I'm not teaching that game. And I tried to on myself, and I think I made a bubble in my arm about this big.
You missed the vein.
Yep, and that just spooked me.
Thank God.
I'm just saying that turned me away from even trying. But
but that's another opportunity where you were saved and blessed. Because I promise you, if you would have connected, we'd be having a whole different conversation right now.
Yeah,
100%.
Man.
So I've seen all that. family, friends, IV users. I used to just snort dope, but I think I did a lot more dope than them.
And did you lose your grandfather to a drug overdose or just natural
causes? No, when I came home from prison, about a month after I came home, this was in 2017. About a month after that, he ended up dying, and it was related to drugs.
So like causing a health decline and stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
did that affect you?
Oh yeah. It affected me, because that was the one person who really never judged me, knew what I was doing, loved me to death. Yeah. Now, he didn't condone or try to get me, but he was like, he
loved you unconditionally.
And he was just like, if you can make it through this. And he used to always say this, I don't want you to grow up and be like me, grandson. He used to say, go home, because he been divorced and didn't have nobody to live by himself from his lifestyle of using and being in the streets. So he used to always say, you need to go home. Stuff like that. It was hard because he was one of the men role models that I had my entire life.
Absolutely. Yeah. Did you, so did your mom and dad, after, they gave you up, or, I don't know. I know. I
get what you're saying. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
But no, I did. So once they
ever reconnect with you?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So they just went to finish junior high.
Okay.
High school, finished college. My daddy went to the military too. So once they got on their feet and stable, I moved back in.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't remember the age, but at this time I was still so connected to my grandparents. I called them mama and daddy.
Yeah.
It's like I want to be over there with them. Now I gotta go live here with them, and that I think put some space in between our relationship to where I was like rebellious and always getting in trouble, on punishment or moving around. Yep.
And it's so crazy, like how we look at things, in hindsight sometimes, because you made reference to it of like, now that you're older and have experienced life, like you understand, but as a kid,
Oh no.
Like all of those things that happen, you know, it's so hard. And I always think about like, how can we communicate or educate, and maybe we can't, to those cases of, you know, kids whose mom and dad make the best decision for them that actually hurts them, but like how can we communicate that?
Right.
So I'm big on right now, this era where we at right now, everybody talk about trauma. That's just a big conversation. But you know, everything is perceived.
Absolutely.
Everything is perceived. So even if they're in a good situation, the way they perceive it, that's the only thing we can work with.
What are you pointing over here for?
I pointed at me.
My bad. I'm about to say what
No, I
did
pointed
now.
at me.
Yeah, like that's all we can work with is how you perceive it, you know, and then hopefully give them some skills and you know, talk to them and point out like and let them see like what's really going on. Show them what the reality of it is.
I had a mentor tell me one time, he said, every alcoholic got one or two stories. My mama loved me too much, or my mama didn't love me
at all.
enough.
At all, yeah, or whatever, yeah. You know, and
The ones who had their mama that loved them too much. You're so overbearing and so controlling. The ones who, I wish my mama was there.
yeah.
Which I think, you know, just to kind of quote like and bring it to like, you know, the program aspect of it, like that's where it like really talks about like that selfishness and self-centeredness aspect of us is where it comes. Like we want to be loved, or we want to be treated the way we want to be when we want it and how we want it. And if we don't, we'll find any reason to, I don't want to say create trauma, because some people have like, I mean, yes, there's traumatic events out there, but some of us, our perception creates the trauma.
Oh yeah, and it'll create a whole lifestyle and change the trajectory of our lives. So that's why I communicate with my kids the way I do.
Yeah.
And my father, he loved me to death. My mama did too, but the way they communicated, right? It wasn't no communication, you know. So if he probably would have told me like, I'm doing all of these things for you, you know, I'm making sure I provide or this. Like, we didn't have those conversations growing up. So I know right now the conversation, I think about any conversation, any information that I got now that looking back, I need to make sure I'm having that conversation with Junior and Jace all the time. Like, where you at? What's going on? What type of, do you know why I'm doing this? Absolutely. Do you understand why I got 3 jobs right now? You understand why I'm going to school? Like, you know, have the conversations, you know, but still try to engage when I can, you know, and make them memories for them, you know.
That's beautiful. So,
And you say, so you and your wife, y'all been together since junior high?
27 years. 27 years. Grew up together. Yep. And then within that time, I did I'm probably, Dominique said I'm her drug of choice and I'm her trauma. You know, great woman.
That's a real friend.
Yeah, sure. Like, we grew up together, you know, but I was in a certain lifestyle, you know, and with that lifestyle came me going to prison. That lifestyle going to 6 treatment facilities. In that lifestyle, having outside kids.
absolutely.
You know, all that came with it.
So the one that I know is
Which one?
Junior.
Nuh-uh. So Junior, Jace, and Jackson is for my wife.
Okay.
Yep. But I got a daughter that's 16 that's in Vegas, and then I have another 11-year-old.
You went to went visit, and she went with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My wife.
That's
Yeah.
Your wife white?
She out for what it is. She from like the Natchitoches, Cane River area. So all her people, they like French, Indian, and black and stuff like that.
Shout out her, boy.
That's
a real woman.
Well, like you said it, and it's an old saying: behind every great man's an even stronger woman.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
Hey, if it were for my wife, I wouldn't have nothing.
All right, so let's start diving into the things that have transpired you into, and of course all of it did, but like some of the things that transpired you into your work today and the man you've become. When was that first? Was it treatment or incarceration that came first? Because you said 6 treatment centers, I think.
Yeah, I went to treatment. The first time I went to treatment, I believe I was 20 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, because Junior was like maybe 4 months or 3, maybe 8 months old. I went to treatment, and it was more of an intervention. So since I was a teenager, I've been knowing about the rooms because my daddy had been introduced to the rooms, my uncles and stuff like that. So by the time I'm like 2020, which is after me coming from the military. I came straight from the military and went straight into the streets hustling like I never went to the military. People didn't. They thought I was in Houston somewhere. I had been in the military. For real.
He wasn't in the military. He was out there making plug connections.
Right. So I come right back into the streets and right back into using drugs like even harder because I'm back in this situation.
Absolutely.
I was living with my wife. Like again, we grew up together. Her mama, which is gone right now, Miss Alma, she let me move in. I always been living with her and her mama whenever I came back from the military. So with that using, my daddy, my wife, everybody came together and did like an intervention the first time. You need to go get your stuff together. And I went to treatment. It was okay. Yeah. But you know, there was just, I was young.
Went for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Feel forced. Like,
Yep.
hey,
I was just trying to get the pressure off my back.
Yeah.
Yep. And during that time of me being sober and clean, I met a bunch of good people. Some people that's still in recovery today. Absolutely. Was when I was young. And I'm still connected. That's when I met Ronnie, New Orleans.
Delane?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. That's how I met Ronnie.
Yeah.
Yep. That first time going around. But
I said his whole life.
Sure did.
Yeah.
But hey,
Right.
From Avenues.
That's my boy. That's my boy.
Yeah, that's a
Dude,
great
he's
dude right
great.
there, bro.
That's my boy.
Great dude.
Yep. And again, I always go back to the lifestyle because every time I went back, it was because of the lifestyle. It wasn't because of using. I started wanting to sell. Ended up getting a plug on some Viagra. I got a plug on Viagra while I think I had about 8-9 months sober. And shoot, I was in the room selling people Viagra. And my sponsor used to tell me, man, you know this, you still hustling. I'm like, it ain't drugs, it's Viagra. Yep. And I made a bunch of money. And I was like, sure, I can go get me some more smoke, you know? And then I started selling smoke. And then I started selling cocaine. Like, you know, like.
You went to jail for selling Viagra? That been some hard times.
Oh, literally. Look. I set them up for it. Yeah. Really.
Man, my dog selling Viagra at 9 months sober.
Yeah.
In the rooms, bro.
In the rooms.
You know them old timers, bro.
Yeah. Hey, a bunch of people relapsed because of that.
Yeah.
No, a bunch of people literally, not just from that, because they started, their sex will bring up some stuff, man.
You're right.
You talked
I
about
was about to say, I just talked about it last week.
I didn't know. I'm just trying to make some money. It ain't drugs, and people say they need them. So once I started seeing, you know, supply and demand, I started looking into it, and I found the plug. But a lot of people relapse, and he'll tell you his story about that too. Like, it's a few people who started doing it, relapsed, went back to drugs, and then by that time I was back in the game all the way. You know, and it's some of them who I might have been the last person that sold them their drugs, and they've been clean ever since. Probably got 16 or 20 years right now.
Yeah.
Somebody brought that up yesterday. Somebody that worked in Longley, he was like, Jarvis, you know, back then the last pill I bought was from you. I was like, well, damn. You know?
Right, it make me feel like shit.
Yeah.
Right. Like, you know, and but that type of stuff, man.
So how long did you end up going to prison for?
It depends. So I go to prison for a year here, get out for a year, go back to prison for 13 months, get out, go back for 18 months, get out, do some 90-day turnarounds. Yeah. This was my life.
Yeah. Were you ever in the drug court scene or?
So the last time, that's how I got back into recovery. The last time, I always passed up drug court.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person, give me a lawyer, I'll go do my time. But this last time, because in 2012, I got extradited because a lot of my time in Texas, TDC, I ended up getting extradited back to Alexandria, and I had an open case, and they was like, we'll put you on probation, and we not gonna treat you as an habitual, which was great for me. Yeah. Cool, let me get on probation. So while I'm on probation, in that situation, I ended up catching another charge, an indictment. I caught an indictment, but this time the numbers changed on me. It went from, I always got 3 to 5 years. This time I'm in court, they 35. I fought, keep fighting. They go to 25, like literally. And they didn't really want to budge on me, man. But then I had somebody who just showed up for me. He a judge right now. His name David Williams. He was a lawyer at that time. He showed up. He was like, I can't get him to budge, but we gonna do something for you. If you could just stay good for 5 years. So they gave me 5 years probation, suspended 20. And I remember when I accepted it, the judge told me, Mr. Fountaine, you know what you're doing? I'm like, yeah, I ain't trying to go to jail today. She said, they giving you enough rope to hang yourself with, because they know my lifestyle, my history. And I tell people, my clients now, like, I don't care how good of a person you are inside and how much people love you, the black and white on that paper in front of them, that's all they going off of.
That's all they see. Yep.
So I end up getting that 5 years probation, suspended 20, and end up a year later getting violated. Well, not violated, but I ended up doing a 90-day turnaround, using heroin the whole time. My PO, Miss Susan Fonville, shout out to her. She used to really bless me too, because she'll just show up at my house, and she had, I think, family that must have overdosed before. Yeah. And she used to always try to send me to get treatment. So I went to Vermilion up in Karen Crow a couple times. One time she was about to transport me and violate me in jail, but as soon as we arrived at the jail, I threw up in the back of her car. I just threw up. And she closed the door, took me back to her office and say, just go home. Like, like I got blessed like a bunch of times, but the last time she showed up at my house and they violated me, said I was going to do 90 days. And while I'm in there, they set me up for Stephen A. Hall, which is intensive incarceration in Bossier. I didn't know.
That's what Blue Waters or something.
I didn't know what it was. That's the worst place in the world. In Bossier minimum. But it's a 6-month program. But while I'm sitting in DC-1 for like 3.5 months, I'm like, well, shit, the 6 months had to have started. Because I've been in here. Man, when I get there, they say, your 6 months start now. So I end up doing like 10 months and 21 days. Man, I wrote her so much. I wrote her every week. It's some bullshit. You should have violated me. I'm away from my family. Oh, Lord. And then when I come home, she had all my letters. She was like, I was like, no, I still feel the same way. Still feel the same way. Like, that was the worst place in the world. Like 238 people in one dorm.
So, uneducated question, just as somebody who, I mean, I spent 14 hours in a holding cell. Obviously, I don't feel like, and I could be wrong, I don't feel like you are old enough to have the 20 years suspended. So, like, is that still hanging over your head?
No, man.
So how does that work?
You complete the 5, the 20 go away.
Okay. Okay.
But the hard part is completing the 5. It
yeah.
sounds like a good deal.
No, I get. Yeah, I've heard plenty of people say it. I've just never asked them. And so I'm like, okay, does it just still there? Like,
look, so when I come off that stuff from Bossier, that was in June 2017. Yeah. I come home from that 10-month, 21-day program, the worst place in the world. So, and that's whenever I was like, I'm not doing heroin no more. And one of my little bros, they had brought me like a can of Roxy 30s. It was like, hey, man, here, you get back on your feet. And I ate every one of them. For real, ate every one of them. Maybe gave 2 away. Yeah, maybe gave 2. I ate every one of them, so I end up just, man, this gonna be expensive if I stick with these Roxys, and so I went back to, but at that time it was mostly just fentanyl.
Yeah,
fentanyl. But my grandfather died a month later, and then I kept coming up with these schemes, telling my probation officer, I'm gonna go to truck driving school, which I did go to truck driving school, but getting loaded every day, and then a family member that's real close to me, he ended up getting killed. Him and another one of my partners, we was together one night, and it was about 10 at night. He was like, man, I'll be back, kinfolk. I'm like, all right, bet, be careful. About 3 that morning, we get the call. They found him and the dude dead, on fire, burning. So there was like something that had happened. My grandfather died. This situation happened. I just was and my wife was pregnant with my baby girl, Jackson, at the time. It was just a lot of stresses, man. I think in January, I was leaving one of my partner's houses. He ended up dying too. And the laws hit his house while we was leaving, and that's when I got violated. I sat in jail, went through one of the worst detoxes ever in life, to where the whole dorm was kind of doctoring me and keeping me and beating on the door, making sure the laws come in. It was just a crazy situation. And when I went to court for revocation on the 20-year sentence, like I done calculated how much time I'm gonna do and everything. And that same person, Judge David Williams at the time, but he was a lawyer then. He walked in there. My probation officer walked in there, and they was like, "I bet you take drug court this time." And I was still like, I don't want no drug court. They literally got my son, got Jason, my son, to come tell me, "Daddy, you can come home today." You know, like, you can come home today. Stop fighting it like you can do drug court. And that's what made me sign for drug court.
And so you've been sober since that moment?
Not that moment.
Oh, okay.
They say you got 60 days. Your drug screens need to come down. Mine shot up. Yep. I told Dominique, I say, man, I'm gonna go to detox, New Vision, detox.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, that ain't gonna work for you. You a real deal. I said, I got a family. He's like, bro, you just come from doing all these stuff. Like, you're not concerned with your family. I went to New Vision up in Gina, and on my way from New Vision, I got loaded. And I showed up at drug court, and Miss Keena at the time, she was like, oh, you finna either go to treatment or we taking you back and you gonna get revocated. I called Dominique. Dominique said, man, I already knew you wasn't gonna make it. He said, I got you a bed at Edgefield.
Okay.
That's how it happened.
So how you and
That's
Dominique?
what I was just about to ask that. Where did that
in
connection come? Because
So I've been knowing Dominique from, like, growing up, been knowing him.
Okay.
His nephew is Dominique younger. He with my wife 2 years behind me. So his nephew is my age, so we was cool growing up, been knowing Dominique. And at the end, Dominique was out his mind. I knew him, but he wasn't in the circle of people. He was one of the ones that I kind of stay away from.
Yeah.
But he was cool. I knew him. But my mind state I was in, I end up popping him. I'm just telling him I'm a
Remember he
pop.
told us he went crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. And he know about a situation one night. This before I even went to treatment. Went to the intensive incarceration. Before I think he was running from drug court, but I didn't know it. One night, he in the car with somebody, and I was like, I'm fit to shoot everybody in the car.
Yeah, because I know in 2017 is when I met Dominique at LASAC.
Yeah.
That's when I met him. So that's when you were doing the place in
17,
Bossier.
Yep.
Yeah.
So while
Came home in June of 17.
now watch this. While I'm in Bossier, we got people from Ellick everywhere, all in this one little dorm. They like, man, Dominique just got married. The last time I seen Dominique, he was tripping. And I really thought I didn't know if I was going to have to do something in that car that night. So I'm like, what? Who he got married to? They said, Angel, right? And he cool with me saying this. They said, Angel Drakes. That's my wife's best friend. I say, what, Angel on dope now or something? Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, something wrong with Angel. So that's when I called home, talked to my wife, talked to some people. They're like, no, Dominique doing good.
Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Yep.
I thought you about to say you beat him up. I was about to say, give us the story. We here for it, dog.
Look, hey, before it's over with, we go fight though. Hey, look, at least once a year, we get into it. We be like we almost there. Yeah, we almost there. But that's like a brother, you know.
That's how it
Look, yeah, absolutely.
So when I come home, I'm seeing on Facebook Dominique like doing good.
Yeah.
So whenever I end up in drug court, he was working at Edgefield.
Yep.
I had to go to a drug court graduation, and that's how we kind of linked back up. And he was just like, man, you need to this and that. And I'm like, nah, I'm finna do it my way. And like I say, he ended up giving me a bed at Edgefield. And from there, we just been jammed, just jammed the entire time. And I always tell people, they say, go to treatment, do this, do that, connect with people. Like, that's the same old lingo we tell people. But he one of them people that taught me, like, sometimes we really got to put our hands on people. Like, walk them through the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it wasn't just, hey, you need to do, like, everywhere he was going, he was taking me. And I was still in the streets. The whole time. I just used to go to meeting every day. So he kind of plugged me in and made sure, at least during those times I wasn't getting in no trouble.
That's what's up, bro. That's what we talk about, being in the trenches, bro.
Absolutely.
It's nothing like it.
So, we had the chat. The chat said, what was that first year of sobriety like?
Yeah.
What's it like trying to be in sobriety but live the lifestyle?
So that it didn't work. And the thing was, like I said, I go to a meeting for an hour, but then the rest of the time I'm back on Overton. I'm back on certain areas, facilitating certain things.
Absolutely.
I'm like, long as I don't put my hands on nothing,
good.
I'm directing certain things, and my people doing things for me, and people knew. you know. But and then I never spoke at no meeting. I didn't speak for over a year. No sharing, none of that. Dominique knew what was going on with me, but I'm still getting deeper and deeper. And a lot of people around me that's in my era, they was going to jail, catching cases, stuff like that. So I kind of had like certain warning signs before this certain particular things happened. My partner ended up getting jammed up at a room with some laws, and I remember I went and picked up a bunch of money because he got hit. And when I picked up all this money, I stopped at Dominique's house, and he came outside. He said, "What's up?" I say, "Bro, my people just got hit. Look, I got all this money." He like, "What are you over here for?" Why? I say, "Bro, it's getting real." And he was like, "Bro, you need to do something different."
Yeah.
And I remember I went, took care of this situation, and maybe a week, better yet, I turned my birthday on October 3rd. October 1st, they hit my house. You know, but I've been doing this so long, I kind of knew I was okay. So they came with a search warrant, you know, and I knew I ain't have nothing in my house. I had my daughter with me, and when they came with this search warrant, it's kind of like a relief came. It wasn't an arrest warrant. See, I know the arrest warrant mean I didn't shook hands with the wrong person.
Yeah.
So this is people that said some stuff, and so they coming to see. And they didn't find no drugs or nothing like that, but because my wife had a gun, they took me to jail. And also with that date is 4 days after that, it was supposed to be graduate. I was supposed to be graduating drug court 4 days.
Dang.
So we were talking yesterday at the conference, and you made a really cool statement, and me and Ronnie have talked about it all the time. I've talked about it for the last decade. You said, "Man, I didn't know. I thought I was just supposed to stop using drugs." Talk about that epiphany or that realization that like just stop using drugs wasn't enough for you.
That happened when I was sitting down, literally. Like, so when I went to jail with a gun charge, and I'm like, dang, it could have been worse. Yeah. Also, I had my daughter. At this time, my daughter wasn't even a year yet. My daughter, she might have been, she was 8, maybe a little over a year. But the laws literally was holding my daughter while I'm on my knees, cuffed, while they searching the house, running through the house. The police walking around with her like they theirs and stuff. And, "Hey, go over here. Hey, baby." And I'm looking at this, and my wife ended up getting called and had to get my daughter. So all this stuff, I'm like, dang, the laws got my daughter. My wife getting called from work. I'm finna go to jail. And then when I got to jail, there was like, nobody would show, like, I'm trying to get in touch with drug court. "Hey, wasn't no drugs. Y'all need to come get me. Graduation in 4 days." But they was like, "Nah, man, them people at your house for a reason." They was like, in my history. So a lot of the case managers and counselors already suspected what I was doing. I just was staying clean, because I had a rental every month, a brand new rental every month, But my niece worked at Enterprise, so I'm like, my niece worked there. They like, man, no regular person get a new rental every month for 18 months, So they let me sit. I end up, and while I'm in there, just, I don't know, maybe y'all, so with jail, I usually get comfortable and adapt. I didn't get comfortable, I didn't adapt. And I tell this story a lot of times. So every time somebody slammed a soup on the ground, I almost went crazy. Because people in there making spreads, they slamming soups on, they cooking. That stuff was driving me crazy. I look across the dorm, and they got youngsters at a table, right? And they beating on the table, making beats and rapping. I was like, oh, this is crazy. Like, I never looked at jail. I started seeing stuff. It had old man sitting there playing dominoes, people walking through the showers. It was just crazy. It was just looking weird to me. And that was the first time I was like, man, something gotta change. Yeah. And I kept calling home to my wife and like, hey, get Dominique, call certain people. They need to get me out of here. And I remember Dominique was like, man, you need to pray. And I was like, I started hating on him, because, he telling me to pray when I need to get out of here. But I did start praying. I was like, man, God will be done. I don't care what it is. If I'm supposed to sit here, let me sit here. But if I'm supposed to change my life, get me out of here and show me which route to go. And that's whenever, so surrender, I looked at it differently today. I remember I thought I surrendered when I'm not doing dope no more. And I meant it. Yeah. But then when I surrendered in that moment, it was surrender to everything, the whole lifestyle, on my expectations, how I want to live, what I thought living was. It was like, I do not know. Because I'm back in this situation, and So I ended up getting out because at the time the same lawyer again. He
We got Bill David Wells or that's his
David
name?
Williams.
Williams. We got Bill David Williams.
Yeah, he a judge now. He became judge, and I was like one of his last cases. He ended up getting me out because that was my wife gun. I ain't had no access to it and all these different things.
Did you make graduation?
Nuh-uh.
Okay.
Drug court terminated me. It'll terminate
Okay. Well, that's good.
completely what it is, max benefits, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So after I got out, 90 days after that, I got discharged from probation. Got my letter. And that was it with drug court, probation, and everything.
And this 2019 almost now?
At this time, it's 2019. I get out probation in March of 2020.
Okay, March 2020. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because you just celebrated 8 years sober. What it was?
My birthday is May 16th, 2018.
May 16th. So how you ain't just celebrate 8 years?
I just celebrated. I just celebrated last week because I wasn't. In May, I wasn't here. I was. We was in the Bahamas.
That's right. I remember. I had all these shoes for you. Yes,
Yeah,
Lord.
yeah. We had went to the Bahamas, and then in June, my family was somewhere, so I celebrated in July. But May 16th, 2018, that's whenever I got sober.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So, first we appreciate you showing up, man, and,
yeah.
and talking.
I appreciate y'all.
We always end with a couple of final little questions. The first one is what's next? What's next for you?
So right now, man, again, I'm working with class resource coordinator. I also do some work with a program called Strengthening Families. That's with juveniles, at-risk juveniles. A lot of them, we trying to stop that school to prison pipeline.
Absolutely.
So a lot of the times, the judges, DAs, they send them to us, and we connect with them. The group I'm over is from 12 to 17-year-olds.
That's a very impressionable group,
Yep,
too.
yep. So
Yeah.
and we meet with not just the kids, with the families. So stipulated, the parents or the caretaker have to attend because we work with these kids so much, we send them back to the same issue. So if everybody getting the treatment or the coaching, it's a different result. Absolutely. So outside of doing that, I'm doing a monitoring program right now to where a lot of offenders, if it's their first time or something going on with them, they get with me. I monitor them from 8 to 16 to 20 weeks. Make sure they get connected to recovery. Make sure they stay connected with me, just monitor them, and then if they complete the program, a lot of time the judge or whatever will drop the charges so they won't become, convicted felons. And I'm also in school.
That's what I was asking.
Yeah, I'm in school. I'm a social work student. My senior year at Northwestern University. I graduate December 17th.
Come on.
Let's
That's
go.
awesome, bro.
Heck
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
You have a master's?
I'm gonna get my bachelor's, but my plan is to go straight into the master's program.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And I'm always intrigued, with, for like me, I was born and raised in Baton Rouge. There's been plenty of things to, say like, man, you just need to go ahead and get out, right? What's your reason for staying so local and and pouring back into your community when sometimes people say it's just easier to just give up and walk away?
Because it's a need, and then my thing is if you can get good at home, you can stay at home. If you can get good at home, you can get good anywhere. Anywhere, it don't matter. But it's such a need. And then once I got connected to working as a transportation driver at Red River, Dominique, Victor White, they always like, you need to go back to school. That's how I got connected with LASAC.
Yeah.
And then they told me about LRS, right? Voc Rehab.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even know certain resources was
available.
What?
Yep.
What, you got a diagnosis for mental? I got that. I got that. So then they paid for LASIK.
Yep.
Then I went back to school. They paid for that, And so, but I also learned about other resources. So I'm telling you, a lot of times with my way of thinking, I guess it might come from the lifestyle, how I was raised, whatever it is. Like I always was plugged in. So I look at it like on this side, I'm plugged in still, but instead of taking from my community, I'm giving back.
Yes.
So I go into the trenches and I want them to understand, like, you don't have to go to treatment, bro. You really don't have to go to treatment if you don't want to. Or you don't have to go this route if you don't want. It's so many different routes people can take. But if they got the resources, they probably be more successful.
So many avenues once you and that's what's the great thing about, what you and Dominique and y'all's team and Rebecca, y'all all do is like bring y'all have done the work of finding all the resources and then creating things with the resources and then bringing them to the community.
Bringing them straight there.
Say putting your hands on them.
Yep.
Yep.
And so, last question, and then we'll have one more statement. What's your why?
Why? Why am I doing the work that I'm doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing the work because it's very fulfilling. I got purpose in it. I just feel like this is my calling. This is my purpose. I think any type of purpose comes from you helping and giving back and doing service work.
God's work.
Love it.
And if somebody's listening to this and they just heard your story, that's your camera right there. Leave them with some words of inspiration if they're feeling stuck or they need something. Leave them with some words of information.
Give yourself some grace. Find out who got your best interest. Find out where the resources is, and just tap in, man. A lot of times, stop judging yourself. And that was something that I struggled with a lot of times because I judged myself so harshly. I automatically thought everybody else was judging me. So my thing is give yourself grace. Stop judging yourself. Find out. I always call them your tribe. Figure out who your tribe is. Connect to them and just follow some directions. That's it, man.
Yes, Lord.
We can do this together.
Yep.
We're so
together.
We are so appreciative for your time, but Ronnie, unfortunately, we have come to your least favorite time of the episode. You got to take us out.
I'm ready to go to the gym. Thank you, bro, from the bottom of our heart and the Built by the
appreciate y'all.
Stick family.
Appreciate y'all
for coming on this platform, bro, setting it on fire. We knew you had a story. We are so grateful and honored that you decided to come on this platform and share that with us, getting intimate and vulnerable and sharing the small, sacred, intricate parts. You heard intricate, huh? I'm in there. Parts of your life, man, and hey, I tell a lot of people this because we do have a good guest base, but you chosen.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? And God is all over your life, bro, and we continue to pray that God continue to bless you and your family. What you
I think it's very serendipitous.
Okay.
Coincidental.
Dinky.
That one of our first guests had a song, and in his song it said, "God got his hands on me."
Yeah.
And every guest we've had,
sand on the beach.
Yeah.
and every guest we've had has just, put that out there that what you say all the time, and we're God's chosen people.
God's chosen, bro. You can see God through it. And, you got a strong support system, man. Yeah. You just continue to be that great light that you've been for all the youth, people that look like me, people that don't look like me. You special, bro. We need more people like you.
Appreciate you.
To our people out there that's still struggling. As you can see, we are committed week in and week out.
Whether we on cruises.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
We coming.
Always got service with us, baby. Again, Jarvis, let them know how they can reach you in the class and the Fresh Start. Is it Fresh Start?
Fresh Works.
Fresh Works. I'm sorry. Let them know how they can reach that again.
1785 Jackson Street, Alexandria, Louisiana. Contact is 318-442-1010. You could just call, ask for myself, Jarvis, or Danny, or Alex.
Okay, and you're on social media, correct?
Social media, Jarvis Fountaine. You can reach out to me any type of way. Message me, DM me, it don't matter.
And we're going to put his information in the description as well. Again, shout out to our Patreon members, Mama O, Mark O, Caitlin M, two Elizabeths, Caitlin and Blaine.
Caitlin M, KDG.
Caitlin M, KDG. I'm so sorry, y'all. Y'all, we tell y'all this every week. We are committed and dedicated to bringing y'all raw and real content. News you can use.
Yes, Lord.
That's what they say.
Yes, Lord.
If you're somebody is struggling, please reach out. We're real people with real issues that really want to help you find a solution. You can reach us on Facebook.
Yep.
Built by the Red Stick. Instagram, Built by the Red Stick. TikTok, Built by the Red Stick. YouTube, Built by the Red Stick. You can leave us an email at builtbytheredstick@gmail.com.
Yeah, you can.
You can message us at builtbytheredstick.com. We're actually under construction right now with that, so it's down right now. It's coming back, though. We're coming back real soon. All right? Don't give up.
Never.
Because we're not going to give up on you.
Allow
us to love you until you can learn to love yourself.
Because we do.
Until then, we'll be back at the same time, at the same place, with the same producer. Built by the Red Stick. Built by adversity, led by courage.
We love you. We love you. We love you.